Summertime is finally here, and for me, that means hiking, camping, getting out on the water, whether it be the lake or the river. It's time outside, and I am so stoked. It's beautiful, it's warm, it's all things incredible. Just this weekend, we were out on a river walk down along the Animas River and saw commercial boats running, saw a few different companies going down, and saw a lot of people on the river. So that was a really exciting thing to see because it means people are opening up too. There's a lot of confidence out there on getting outside and enjoying the great outdoors. I'm seeing a lot of wonderful ads by operators and guides and outfitters all across the nation in promoting and pushing their local business. So it's really exciting time, and I know a lot of you guys are starting to open up doors. So good for you. If you haven't yet, it's right around the corner. Keep trucking along, keep your head up. There's going to be a good market to come out of it. So work with your local governments and making sure that you guys are in a good shape to open up, right? So with that, you're working really, really hard this summer to be able to capture that revenue. Now, you want to be really smart, okay, with making sure that that revenue ends up hitting your bottom line and that it can be retained this year. So it's going to be really important to not go gangbuster and go spend all that money as fast as it's coming in, okay? It's going to be important this year more so than most years to set up kind of some systems and some controls and some cost management to be able to retain that profit. So in case if the season is a little bit shorter, if there's a rebound on the COVID, or just because you lost a significant amount of the early season revenues, whatever it might be, it's going to be important to maintain as much of that revenue as you can to keep it in-house. So 3 ways and 3 very fun and inexpensive cost management tactics I'm going to go ahead and give to you here in just a little bit. The last one is involving your team, okay? So the first 2 are very important, and if you have individuals such as guides or employees who are the primary people responsible for spending and purchasing, then stick around for those to listen to how to include these, incorporate your team with these strategies, okay? So the first strategy is to limit your opportunities to spend, okay? So when I mean that, I mean set aside 2 days a month, so every other week or maybe even 1 day a week, and use that as your dedicated purchasing day. Don't make purchasing a habit every single day of the week, okay? So if you're purchasing every day of the week, it's hard to oversee that and it's hard to be intentional with that spending. So limit your spending opportunities, okay? A really good way to do that, time schedule, time block, make it your Monday habits, make it your Friday, or maybe make it the 15th and the 25th of the month or something, okay? But pick a schedule and stick to it and only make your purchases on those days, okay? The second thing to do is to, every time you have a purchase, I want you to ask yourself two questions. The first question is this purchase necessary or not? Okay? By saying is it necessary, is this purchase actually sticking with your ultimate dream? Is it helping with delivery or service? Is it something that your customers find valuable? And does it improve your life or whatever else? Is it a necessary purchase? Okay. When looking at necessary, thinking, is there already maybe an existing asset, or do I already have something here that can satisfy what this needs are? And can we be creative with what we currently already own? And if so, utilize that, and then that new purchase is truly unnecessary, okay? The other question I want you to ask is, if you determine an item's necessary, to then look at that and say, is this negotiable or replaceable by a better option? So by being negotiable, have I already connected with this vendor and made sure that what I'm purchasing right now is the most appropriate for me and my business today? We just went through a lot of different changes, and there might be some changes to your insurance, or maybe some of your vendors, now that they're up and running, maybe they're offering some kind of discounts or some benefits, or maybe you could bundle some items up. Whatever you can do to maximize the return on that individual purchase, okay? If it's replaceable, looking at software or looking at your reoccurring subscriptions, thinking, is this item the most appropriate for my business, or is there a better option that I can get more out of that is useful for me, or a less expensive option, okay? So then the third strategy is to incorporate your team. And this one is the most exciting, and this one's really, really fun. I'm not saying incorporating your team by building a budget and keeping them in line with a budget. That's boring. Nobody likes budgets. But rather, you can come up with really cool, fun incentives, such as like a super saver award. So when you have an employee that went through that exercise and identified some unnecessary savings or did a big negotiation, then acknowledge them and give them a super saver award for that particular week. It's fun to be recognized and people love it. Also, it's creating buy-in. So by getting your people's buy-in and by having them be responsible for your spending, it's benefiting them. Okay, it's exciting, and if they're bought in, then they're going to be really intentional with the health and the financial management of your own business. The other idea with a really fun incentive is a profit party at the end of the year. So whatever those savings are that you come across, you can set it aside, or depending on your net profit balance, you can do a set percentage of that and use those funds to throw a postseason party. There's been some really fun parties that I've even been a part of and witnessed and attended from these profit parties, and the employees love it. So if you let them know about that ahead of time and say, hey guys, like this year, within light of COVID or even whatever other reasons that you might have, I want to make sure that we're as profitable as that we can be, and I want you to be intentional with the spending, and I want you to be intentional with our financial management. At the end of the year, we'll have a fun party to be able to throw. Okay, that's really important too. If you have guides that are out there with purchase cards, or if you have employees making purchasing, it is important to have some control in place there. But to be really fun and exciting and energetic surrounding the expense management and the buy-in gets them engaged and gets them excited for it too. So if you have any ways that you celebrate with your employees, or if you have a really cool story on ways that you've been creative with your expense management this year and how you save this year, let us know in the comment box below. I'd love to hear it. I'm sure others following this would like to see it as well. The more creativity and the more we hear how other people are being creative, the easier it is for us to adopt that within our own businesses and our own outfits and stuff too. So please, by all means, share. So I'm Zeb Smith. Thank you for watching. Leave your comments in the box below and have fun out there. Enjoy the summer, get outside, and man, just have a great time. Thank you.